Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at all the brand new Aeldari. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. World Championships preview. Aeldari Phoenix Lords step from the webway. The galaxy is sliding ever further into maelstrom of war and chaos, challenging the foresight of the Aeldari's great seers. And more often are the craft worlds dragged into conflicts that they would otherwise be content to avoid. But at this darkest of moments, the elite warriors of the aspect shrines are buoyed with the return of their legendary progenitors, the Phoenix Lords, and a new face amongst their number. You may have already seen that Fuegan is on his way back to the battlefield with a shiny new miniature, and his fire dragon disciplines are following swiftly on the heels with new duns of their own. Alright, so we previously got a look at the brand new Fuegan model with the leaks not too long ago. On top of that, we've got the fire dragons coming as well. So here we see our standard fire dragon warrior and then the fire dragon exarch as well. Very cool. Definitely in the likeness of the old stuff, but brought up to like the correct scale and proportions of the newer Eldar range. Each squad of fire dragons has new helmet options in case you want to run them as part of the thematic Ynnari army. Plus a Dragon's Breath Flamer if you fancy torching infantry in the gaps between blowing vehicles to pieces. The Exarch competes with Fuegan himself as a firepike-sized contest, or can instead be equipped with a much more restrained fire axe and fusion pistol. It is said that Fuegan will call all the Phoenix Lords together at the Rana Dandra, the prophesized final conflict to end the universe. And Aeldari Seers must be starting to sweat a little because he hasn't arrived alone. And now we have our first look at the brand new Asurmen model, Phoenix Lord of the Dire Avengers. And now keep in mind that all, or at least almost all, foreshadowing, of these existing Phoenix Lords have their own rules already, so we already know that they are phenomenal. Fuegan can stand back up on a 2+ when he dies, and he has phenomenal weapons. Asurmen allows the squad to overwatch for free and hit on 4s, and again has really good weapons. Now we got a brand new model coming to go along with those rules. And here we can see the details of his sword, helmet, and then again the back banner. Very cool to see these coming back. Absolutely beautiful models. Games Workshop has nailed it. Asurmen is the first of the Dire Avengers, the right hand of the Aeldari god Asurmen, and an incomparable protector to his people. He has visited more craft worlds than any other, raising shrines on almost all of them, and legends tell of interventions in battle stretching back thousands of years, butchering demons by the dozens with his dire sword containing the spirit of his murdered brother. And as if 2 Phoenix Lords isn't enough, here comes Baharroth, the brand new Phoenix Lord model for the Swooping Hawks. So we got a brand new roadmap from Games Workshop not too long ago, and a little teaser that the Swooping Hawks will be coming, and I was really hoping that we were going to get some Phoenix Lords along with them. So when I saw Fuegan coming out, I was obviously very excited for that, but I definitely thought that that might limit some of the other stuff coming out, but that is not the case. This new Baharroth model is absolutely beautiful. I love the pose, I love the Aeldari tactical rock, the wings, the armor, the helmet is amazing, the sword. Games Workshop once again knocked it out of the park with this one. And here we can see the angle from the back with the brand new backpack. We have the banner once again, but hanging from the gun. And like I said, the helmet is absolutely phenomenal. Baharroth is the swiftest of the Phoenix Lords and Asurmen's top student, preferring to strike from the skies with his lethal blade and storm of lasbolts. His new miniature takes his classic dynamic launching pose and supercharges it, bringing the intricacy crafted wings and immaculate armor soaring into plastic for the first time. So this has got me super excited. Not 1, not 2, but 3 new Phoenix Lords. But wait, there's more. So here we got our first look at the brand new Swooping Hawk models coming in plastic as well. Here we see the Exarch with his 2 different gun options, and then we also have with the pistol and sword. Then we see a few of the brand new Swooping Hawk models as well. And then a couple more to go along with that. So very clearly they're going to be coming in squads of 5 with the Exarch option. And then once again with our little totem. And these are very much in the look and style of the old Swooping Hawks, just brought to new sculpts and in plastic. Absolutely all that we could ask for. He's joined by the plastic Swooping Hawks, who get their first model update in over 2 decades. And what an update it is. Like the Fire Dragons, they have new helmetless options, while the classic elegance is brought bang up to date with the Hawk's Talon, Scatter Laser, and Power Sword options for their Exarch. Veteran fans of the craft world Aeldari have long pondered the identity of the Phoenix Lord of the Warp Spiders. The Shrine's Aspect Warriors are fixed with Aeldari war parties, but their forebearer has remained hidden in the webway until now. So once again, another one of my predictions, another one of my hopes and dreams coming true with our first look at the Warp Spider Phoenix Lord. And I've got to say, Games Workshop has absolutely crushed it with this one. We've always had some like talks and rumors of the Phoenix Lord for the Warp Spiders, but never had a model, never had rules until now. And this is absolutely phenomenal. So we have a big old sword, a free hand, 2 little blades, sort of like injector looking things. And then we have dual web spinners. We have an awesome little ruin on the base, and then clearly like an action pose leaping through the warp, some warp lightning effects. The helmet actually resembles the look of a spider with like the extra eyes above it. The cool little plume on top. Phenomenal detail on the armor. This model is absolutely out of this world. And here we can see the details of the backpack, like carapace armor, the plume, the helmet up close, and then the sword as well. Games Workshop crushed it on this one. Even amongst their seemingly immortal kind, Lhykis, also known as the Whispering Web, is a daredevil who embodies Kane's willingness to risk everything for victory. She plunges herself into the warp time and time again under the fearless and keen eye for navigation, jumping further than more accurately than even the most ancient of her exarchs, and always appearing to crackle with warp lightning to deliver her people from doom. The one-of-a-kind suit of aspect armor she wears houses 4 additional arms, 2 armed with a unique pair of death spinners, while the others end in a wicked monofilament weapons reminiscent of the infamous Harlequin's Kiss. Even with the arsenal at her back, Lhykis' most dangerous weapon is her crackling sword, Vatagran, also known as Weave Render, which is so sharp it can carve the fabric of reality itself. And Games Workshop did mention also one of the special rules for this brand new Phoenix Lord is that she's going to be able to flicker jump with the Warp Spider squad and then still be eligible to charge into combat. So presumably you'll be able to attach her to a Warp Spider squad, make their massive jump, hit a squad or screening unit with a bunch of Death Spinner flamers, and then charge into combat, devastating something else. So this is going to completely change the dynamic of Aeldari and how they play on the tabletop, and I am all for it. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, CMO Games. CMO Games carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, paint, terrain, tools, and more. They take pre-orders for most Games Workshop new releases as early as possible, usually 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. CMO Games offers 15% off of MSRP for most all Games Workshop products and offer fast free shipping to the continental United States on orders over $50. Most orders ship out within 24 hours. You know their customer service is top-notch as they've been selling games online for over 20 years. Use the affiliate link below and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. But she is not alone. We've got brand new Warp Spiders as well. That's right, Games Workshop is giving us almost everything for the Aeldari. So here we can see the 3 different configurations for the Warp Spider Exarch. Here we have 1 web spinner and then dual spinners as well. Here we have the typical build with the double spinners and then the claws. And then here we have a quad claw option, which is brand new. So very, very cool. Typically, previously, we only had this option. Now we have 2 new options as well. And then here we can see 2 of the standard Warp Spiders. And then the other 2 of the standard Warp Spiders. And then, of course, their Shrine. And we have helmet and helmetless options. Very, very cool new models. Definitely a little more dynamic than the previous poses. And, of course, the best part is they will no longer be in the old Finecast resin or the relic metal models. We'll finally have a plastic kit. Of course, we couldn't have new Phoenix Lords without their disciples also getting an upgrade. The new Warp Spiders look phenomenal and jump back in the expanding options of the Exarch, including an insectide 4-bladed setup that looks positively lovely to be on the receiving end of. And here we got a picture of all of the Phoenix Lords with their brand new Aspect Warriors. The great assembly of Phoenix Lords and Aspect Warriors can only mean one thing. Codex Aeldari accompanies the multicolored war host, collating the long and tragic history of the winning culture and rules to field them on the tabletop. So of course here is the brand new Codex Aeldari. Super excited for this, but I can't help but notice there is 1 Phoenix Lord missing. So we got Janzar and the Howling Banshees, and then we got these Striking Scorpions miniatures, but we never actually got a Karandras, the Phoenix Lord of these Striking Scorpions. So while I'm super excited for all of the new Aspect Warriors and the new Phoenix Lords, I can't help but think that Karandras has to be coming. The Asuryani wander the stars in colossal craft worlds, each with his own unique philosophies and traditions that translate into a distinct approach of battle. There are 8 separate detachments, which include all-around war hosts and most specialized formations such as the Seer Council, the Windrider Host, the Harlequin's Ghost of the Webway, the Devoted Yanid, and the Aspect Host, in which new Aspect Warriors deploy their terrifying shadows of the Avatar of Cain. So very, very cool. 8 detachments, which is absolutely stunning. We have seen like 6 for most factions, and then for the expansions or like the sub-factions, we've seen another 4 on top of that. Aeldari getting 8, and one of them specifically going to be a Harlequin detachment, which means very likely we're going to be seeing Harlequin-only armies returning to the battlefield. Very, very cool. Let's just hope that Karandras is also on the way. So let me know what you think of the new Aeldari reveals. Are you as excited as I am? Aeldari was my first full army way back in the beginning. They are what got me into Warhammer 40k over 30 years ago, and I cannot wait to bring a brand new all-plastic army to the tabletop. So let me know which of these models or detachments you're most excited about. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products. And make sure to tell them that Warhammer Man sent you. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man. And I gotta say that the Phoenix Lord for the Warp Spiders is my #1. And I'm out of here.